They say the seventh door doesn't exist. Ask the staff at Echelon Escape, and you'll get the same answer every time. 7? Must be a misunderstanding. Our rooms only go up to 6. Ask online, and it's different. Reddit threads, private. Discord's cryptic YouTube videos. You'll find them if you look hard enough. People claiming to have heard whispers, glimpsed something, lost someone. One thread stood out. It was posted on a conspiracy forum under a throwaway account. The title was simple: Don't Open Door 7. We were 4 people. Regular game, 6 rooms. Each one got harder. But after room 6, there was another door. It wasn't part of the room design. It was just there, standing open like it had been waiting. Mark said it was a glitch. Maybe it was curiosity. He went. Through never came out. They told us we imagined it. Deleted our reservation record, but I know what I saw. There is a 7th door. It finds you, not the other way around. The post ended there. The account was deleted a day later. The forum shut down within the week. And still, people whisper. If you're reading this, maybe you've heard of it too. Maybe you're curious. That's how it starts. Alex Mercer wasn't superstitious, but he had a soft spot for urban legends, especially the creepy ones. Joe called it his masochistic curiosity. She was only half wrong. I'm telling you, this place is the real deal, he said, scrolling through the Echelon Escape site. Top-tier puzzles, professional design, and look at these reviews. No one mentions a 7th door, but they talk about feeling watched, weird dreams afterward. Joe snorted. You're literally using vague trauma reviews as proof it's haunted? No, I'm saying the absence of mention might be part of the design. You mean like a conspiracy? Exactly. Joe leaned over, sipping her iced coffee. All right, fine. If we die, I'm haunting your Spotify account. They booked the 8 p.m. slot for Saturday night. Echelon Escape was tucked behind a strip mall, the kind of place you'd miss unless you were looking for it. The sign was plain, black letters on a silver rectangle. Minimalist, almost clinical. Inside, it was quiet. Too quiet. A single staff member sat at the front desk, flipping through a rulebook. Her name tag read, Mira. Alex noticed something off about her smile. It was too polite, too even. Welcome to Echelon Escape, she said. You must be Alex and... Joe? Yeah, Alex replied. We're here for the full room experience, 7 levels. Mira's smile held, but her eyes blinked once, slowly. I think you mean 6. Joe nudged him. Right, 6, that's what he meant. Of course, Mira said. She handed over waiver forms. Once you enter the first room, the game begins. You'll have 60 minutes per room. If you run out of time, you'll be removed. Removed doesn't mean disqualified. It means exited. Do you understand? Alex frowned. Removed, that's dramatic wording. Company policy. Joe scribbled her signature. Let's just win and get our free t-shirts. They were led into a waiting area with 4 other players, a couple who looked too competitive, and 2 solo players, both already glued to their phones. At exactly 8 p.m., the lights dimmed. A voice came over the speakers, calm and strange. Welcome. Participants, you are entering room 1. The door behind you is locked. The only way out is forward. Solve the puzzle, escape in time, or don't. The door in front of them slid open with a click. Game on. The door sealed behind them with a soft hiss, like an airtight chamber closing. The room was bright and white, sterile like a lab. A long table stood in the center, surrounded by 7 identical chairs. On the table sat a row of 7 locked boxes, each with a number and a keypad. The walls were bare except for a digital countdown, 59:58. Welcome to room 1, the voice said. This is a logic challenge. Each box contains a clue to the next, but one is a decoy. Choose wrong and your time runs out faster. Joe muttered, "They really went all in on the drama." The group moved in. Alex scanned the boxes. Numbers, 1 through 7. One of them didn't belong. The couple jumped right in, tapping keys. One solo player stayed near the wall, arms crossed. The other, a younger guy in a hoodie, mumbled something to himself. Alex pointed. "Start with 1. If it's our chain, we'll know soon enough." Joe opened the note taped to box 1. It read, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind." "Classic riddle," Joe said. "That's an echo." Alex typed ECHO into box 1. It clicked open. Inside, a slip of paper with a second riddle. They moved through the boxes quickly. Alex and Joe solved 4 in a row. The others began to realize it and followed their lead. At box 6, they hit a snag. The riddle read, "I am always hungry. I must always be fed. The finger I touch will soon turn red." Joe read it aloud. "Fire." Alex hesitated. "Wait, what if it's the decoy?" Joe frowned. "Why?" "Because it's too easy, too well known. It fits the theme of being a trap." "Let's test box 7's clue first." Box 7 had a different note. "What disappears the moment you say its name?" They both said it in unison. Silence. "That's it," Alex said. "This is the right chain. Fire was the trap." He typed in SILENCE. Another click. The final clue led to the wall, where a square panel slid open, revealing a button. "Congratulations, room 1 complete." The countdown froze at 17:23. The group celebrated, but the man in the hoodie didn't move. He just stared at the wall where the button had been. Joe leaned in. "Did he even help?" Alex whispered. "He hasn't said a word, just watches." The next door clicked open. As the players filed into room 2, the wall behind them lit up. Where the digital clock had been, a new message appeared. 6 remained. Joe frowned. "Wait, where's the guy from the corner?" Alex turned. The door was shut. Gone. The second room felt different the moment they stepped inside. The lighting was dimmer, cooler. The clean white of the previous room was gone, replaced with metal grates, narrow walkways, and a low ceiling crisscrossed with hanging pipes. The floor dipped slightly in the middle, revealing a pit with padded obstacles, ropes, swinging beams, uneven platforms. A red light blinked above the entryway. "Welcome to room 2, said the voice. "Balance, agility, speed. Your goal is the platform on the far side. You have 15 minutes. Fall and you are removed." Joe stared at the pit. "Wait, you're kidding. This is a whole obstacle course." The couple looked thrilled. The guy stretched like he was prepping for a CrossFit challenge. His partner tied her hair back tight. Alex scanned the pit. The walkway wasn't just physical, it was timed. Several platforms dipped or moved in rhythmic intervals. Some were clearly unstable. One of the ropes spun slowly on its axis like it had been greased. "I don't like this," Joe said under her breath. "You'll be fine," Alex replied, voice steady. "Stick to the middle route. Avoid the rotating rope." The couple went, first moving confidently. They shouted something back, but it echoed and distorted. Alex could barely make it out. Then the younger guy in the hoodie went. Still silent, still distant. He slipped once but caught himself, then disappeared into the fog near the far end. Joe gritted her teeth and went next. Alex followed close behind. About halfway across, Joe froze on a narrow beam as one of the swinging poles passed inches from her. Her hands trembled. "Joe," Alex called, "focus on my voice, one step at a time." She nodded, forced a breath, and kept going. Behind them, the last solo player, an older woman, misjudged the angle of a rotating bar. She slipped. There was no scream, just a soft, mechanical thump as she fell into the fog below. "Participant." "Removed," the voice said. Alex turned, heart racing. The fog below the pit shifted. Something moved under it. There was no sign of the woman, no ladder, no stairs. Jo reached the far platform and collapsed to her knees. "What the hell, Alex? What did we sign up for?" Alex looked back at the empty beam. "We're not in a game, not the way we thought." When all 5 remaining players were across, the platform lit up with a green circle. The far wall split open. No fanfare, no explanation. They entered a narrow hallway, silent and grey. Mira was waiting, clipboard in hand, her smile unchanged. "Room 3 is a challenge of the mind," she said. "You may want to take a breath before proceeding." "Wait," Alex said. "That woman fell. Is she okay?" Mira blinked. "No one was injured. She's been removed." "What does that mean?" "Exactly what it sounds like." Jo stepped in front of him. "You can't just dodge questions. That fall was dangerous." "Everything you agreed to was in the waiver," Mira said, not unkindly. "You may proceed now. Or leave." No one moved. Mira's eyes flicked to Alex. "Curiosity brought you here, didn't it?" He didn't answer. The next door opened. 5 remain. The door closed behind them with a heavy thud. This time there was no light at all. Total darkness. No glowing countdown. No ambient hum. Just breath and silence. Then the voice returned. Closer this time, like it was right behind them. "Room 3. Fear. This room adapts. What you see or don't see is yours alone. Stay calm. Stay moving. Find the exit. You have 10 minutes. Jo whispered. Adapts? What does that mean? Alex's voice was barely audible. I think it's going to mess with our heads. A soft sound echoed, like a footstep. But it didn't belong to anyone in the group. It came from too close. Too fast. Then came the first flicker. A single red light blinked on, then off again in a fraction of a second. In that instant, Alex saw something, someone, standing behind the couple. A shape, too tall, wrong proportions. When the light returned, the shape was gone. The couple moved forward fast. The woman said something under her breath, but it was lost in the dark. The man grabbed her wrist and pulled her along. Alex moved slowly, hands outstretched, guiding Jo behind him. Stay close, he said. If we get separated, the lights blinked again. This time, longer, a different hallway. The space had changed. Jo let out a breath. Okay, that wasn't there before. Did the wall move? It's not the room, Alex said. It's us. It's what we're seeing. As if in answer, a whisper brushed across Alex's ear. You shouldn't have come. He spun around. Nothing. But Jo was gone. Jo, he hissed. Jo. No answer. The dark pressed in. He took one step, then another. Then a sound, metal scraping against stone. Slow, dragging, like something being pulled. The lights blinked again. Jo was there, just ahead, facing the wall. Jo? She didn't turn. He walked up cautiously, placing a hand on her shoulder. She spun around and screamed. It wasn't Jo. The face was twisted, wet with black streaks, mouth moving without sound. Then the lights went out again. Jo was back, shaking. I saw something, she whispered. I thought it was you. It said my name, but not right. Alex grabbed her hand. We move, now. The red lights blinked, now faster, guiding them through the space. One turn, another. Then a steel door appeared, no handle. Just a scanner and a message on the wall. Speak your fear. One by one the players arrived. The couple. The silent hoodie guy. The couple went first. She said, "Dying in the dark." The door scanned her face and blinked green. He said, "Losing her." Green again. Joe stepped up, being helpless. The scanner paused, then lit up. Alex hesitated. He thought of something chasing him, faceless. He thought of mirrors and choices. But none of it felt true. He stepped up and said, "Wasting my life." The door opened. Inside was a narrow hallway, brightly lit. No tricks, no whispers, just a digital panel blinking. 4. Remain. Alex turned. Wait. Where's the guy in the hoodie? The hallway behind them was empty. Gone. Again. The next room was warm. Too warm. The walls were matte black, the lights a dull orange that cast long, distorted shadows. In the center of the room stood a round table with 4 chairs. On the table sat 4 identical metal boxes, each with a single keyhole. On the wall behind them, a countdown starting from 20 Sai. "Room 4, trust," the voice said. "You have 20 minutes. Inside one of these boxes is the key to the next door. Each of you may choose one. Only one box contains the key. You cannot open it alone." A pause. Then, "To open a box, you must trust another to turn the key with you, but only one can pass." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Wait, only one?" Joe stepped back. "What kind of escape room forces you to betray someone?" The couple exchanged a look. The man said, "So we all pair up. Try boxes. Whoever gets the key moves on." "And the rest?" Joe asked. He didn't answer. The woman, his partner, added, "We don't have time to overthink this." The first pairing, the couple of course. They each took a side of box 2 and turned their keys simultaneously. Nothing. The box stayed locked. Alex looked at Joe. "We need to be smart." "Smart or lucky?" "Both." They took box 3. Joe placed her hand on one side. Alex did the same. "Ready? Go." Click. The box popped open. Inside, a brass key, but there were only 2 of them holding it. The other 2 players stared. Woman's eyes sharpened. "Only one can pass." Joe held the key loosely. "We're not doing this, we go together." Alex looked at the door. No scanner, just a single keyhole. Above it, a new line of text appeared. "Trust, then choose." Then the countdown sped up, time ticking faster than before. Alex turned to the others. "Look, we don't know what happens if you stay. Maybe you just get removed, like the others. Maybe worse." The man stepped forward. "Or maybe we fight for it." His partner blocked him. "We're not doing this. We don't even know what's real anymore." Joe handed the key to Alex. "You go." He stared at her. "No. One of us has to. If we wait too long, we both lose." We saw what happened in room 2. Alex clenched his jaw, then the man lunged, not at Alex, at Joe. Alex moved instinctively, slamming the man into the wall. The woman screamed. Joe stepped back, furious. "Enough," she shouted. The lights above the door turned red. 10 seconds. Alex looked at Joe. "Together?" She nodded. They both placed a hand on the key and turned it in the lock. The door opened, just wide enough for one. A low alarm buzzed. The lights strobed. Joe shoved Alex through. The door slammed shut behind him. Silence. A single panel blinked on the far wall. 3. Remain. Alex stared at it. He wasn't sure which of the others had made it, and now he was alone. This room looked more like a museum gallery than part of an escape game. Dim overhead lights spotlighted framed photographs on the walls, dozens of them. The air smelled faintly of dust and something harder to place. Old wood, maybe. Or memory. Alex stepped cautiously into the space. The door sealed behind him. Then the voice returned, quieter this time, not distorted, calm, familiar. Room 5. Memory. What you see here is yours, only yours. Observe, remember, choose. Alex turned to the nearest photo. It was his childhood bedroom, messy with comic books piled in the corner and a cracked ceiling light he'd never gotten around to fixing. He moved to the next frame, his high school cafeteria, then the library where he used to study, then a picture of his father's old car, the one they crashed in the winter before graduation. "This isn't random," Alex said aloud. A monitor flicked on at the far end of the room. Grainy video started to play. Alex froze. It was him, 12 years old, sitting alone on a swing set, talking to no one. Then another clip, college, sophomore year, arguing with a professor about a dropped psychology major. Another, more recent. Alex in his apartment, staring at a blinking cursor on his laptop. Unwritten emails, unfinished projects. A long, silent moment. "We remember for you," the voice said, "but not everything deserves remembering." A new display lit up. 3 memories. One does not belong. Erase the lie to proceed. 3 photographs, lit up in red. Alex holding a trophy from a state science fair. Alex in a hospital bed, cast on his leg, smiling up at Joe. Alex at a wedding, his sisters with his arm around her. He stared at them. "All of these happened," he whispered, but something pulled at him. The hospital memory felt off. He remembered the cast, but not Joe visiting. She'd been out of town. He had told her not to come. He stepped toward that photo. The light on it turned yellow. "Are you sure?" the voice asked. "Yes." The photo burned away, dissolving into static. The door clicked open. The hallway beyond was dim. At the end, Joe was waiting. Alex blinked. "You made it?" Joe nodded, tight-lipped. "Barely." "Did they—" "I don't want to talk about it." He didn't push. They turned together and faced the next door. A sign flickered above it. Room 6. Truth or exit? Alex frowned. "Exit?" Joe looked away. "That's what it says." The door opened. 2. Remain. The room was small, no illusions, no traps. Just a single metal chair in the center and 2 spotlights above. One white, one red. A narrow podium stood beside the chair with a mic and a red button. On the far wall, exit, glowing above a sealed steel door. The voice returned, softer now, almost human. Room 6, truth. One of you may leave, but only if you tell the truth. If you lie, you stay. And the door remains closed. One chair, one voice. Choose. Alex looked at Joe. Joe looked at the chair. "No puzzles?" she asked. "No tricks?" Alex added. "Just truth," the voice said. Joe stepped forward. "I'll go first." Alex caught her arm. "Wait, are you sure?" She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "No, but I need to do this." She sat in the chair, adjusted the mic. A soft beep. Then, "Joe, tell us something you've never said out loud. Something real. Something that scares you." She hesitated. Then, in a voice steadier than Alex expected, she said, "I almost didn't come tonight. I told Alex I was in, but I was going to back out. Not because I was scared of the escape room, but because I was scared of being around him." Alex frowned. Joe continued, "He's been drifting, losing himself. I thought maybe this would snap him out of it, or maybe it would just break him completely, and that scared me. I didn't want to watch that happen." Silence. Then, truth confirmed. The white light above her blinked once. The steel door clicked, open just an inch. Joe stood, breathing hard. She didn't look at Alex. "You can go," he said quietly. "I don't want to," she replied. "But I think I should." He nodded. She stepped toward the open door. Then she paused. You were right about the seventh door. Alex's blood chilled. You saw it? No, but I think we're about to. Then she stepped out. The door shut. The room reset, chair empty, lights dim. The voice spoke again. Your turn, Alex. He sat. The mic buzzed. Tell us something real, not safe, not rehearsed, something you've buried. Alex stared straight ahead. Then he spoke. I came here hoping it would break me. Silence, he continued. Everyone thinks I'm just curious, that I chase weird stories for fun. But I haven't finished anything in 2 years. I drop out of things. I leave people hanging. I ruin relationships by being distant. I keep looking for something to wake me up. His hands curled into fists. This room, this game. I thought if it went too far, if it scared me enough, maybe it would pull something real out of me. Something worth saving. Silence again. Then, lie detected. The red light above him buzzed loud. The truth was deeper. Try again. The door remained shut. Then something shifted. A wall behind him moved. A new door appeared. No signs, no warnings. Just a number carved into the steel. 7. Alex stood. The light above him dimmed. He walked toward the 7th door and stepped through. Alex stepped into a room without sound. The moment the 7th door shut behind him, the world seemed to mute. No hum of lights, no echoes. Even his own footsteps felt muffled, like walking through fog. The room was vast, impossibly so. The walls, floor and ceiling were a seamless matte gray. No markings, no seams, no direction, just an eerie, sterile void. At the center stood a single wooden chair and behind it a mirror, full length framed in black. There were no cameras, no microphones, no speakers, and no voice. For the first time since the game began, Alex was completely alone. He walked to the mirror. His reflection stared back. Unchanged. Same gray t-shirt. Same skeptical frown. But something felt off. Not visually, internally. Like the mirror knew something he didn't. He sat in the chair. Nothing happened. He waited. Seconds passed. Then minutes. The silence pressed against his ears like pressure from deep underwater. Then his reflection blinked. Once, he hadn't blinked. Alex stood slowly. The reflection stayed seated. He took a step back. The reflection stood, then smiled. Alex's heart pounded. He hadn't smiled. The mirrored version raised a hand and waved. Alex did not. You're not real, he whispered. The reflection mouthed something. Alex squinted. He read the lips clearly. You came here to be found. Then the lights in the room shifted, subtle, soft. And suddenly the mirror no longer showed just him. It showed moments, Alex as a child, watching from a window as his parents argued outside. Alex in high school, alone at lunch, headphones in, pretending not to notice. Alex in college, nodding politely as professors praised his promise, all while already planning to drop out. Each memory played behind the reflection like a slideshow. Then the reflection spoke. Not through sound, just movement of the lips. You live in rooms. You lock yourself in them, Alex whispered. This isn't real. The mirror changed again. Now it showed Jo leaving the building, looking over her shoulder, then getting into her car. Starting the engine. A clock appeared in the corner of the mirror. Ticking, she was leaving, she'd escaped, and he was still here, alone. He turned from the mirror, suddenly dizzy. I told the truth, he said aloud. I said I wanted to wake up. The reflection whispered, no, you wanted to be punished. The room darkened. A door appeared, not the one he came through. A new one, tall, white, glowing faintly. The mirror faded to black. Alex stared at the door. This wasn't part of the game. There was no countdown, no voice, just a choice. He stepped toward it. His hand trembled as he touched the handle. Then he stopped, turned. 1. Last glance at the mirror, still blank. He turned back and opened the door. Light, warm, blinding. Then, green grass, sunlight, birds. He stood in a field. Outside, simple bench sat nearby, and Jo was there waiting. She looked up, startled. Then, relief. You made it. Alex looked back. The white door had vanished. Just air, no building, no structure. Nothing but sky. He sat beside her, neither spoke. Not for a long time. Then Jo asked quietly, "Was it real?" Alex didn't answer right away. He closed his eyes, felt the sun on his face, and whispered, "I think it was me." The field remained silent for a long time. Alex and Jo sat side by side on the weathered bench. The air was warm, scented faintly with wildflowers. No walls, no puzzles, no ticking clocks. Just the world, or a version of it. Jo spoke first. "So, are we out?" Alex turned toward her. "I think so, maybe. Feels real." "It does." He looked at his hands, the fine lines of his skin, the small scar on his wrist from a childhood fall. But then again, everything has felt real, every room. Jo stared off into the distance. "I saw something in room 6, before I left. Something strange." Alex waited. There was a moment, right as I stepped through the door. It wasn't the hallway or the lobby. It was like I was between places. And I heard something, not a voice, just the sense that this wasn't the end. Alex nodded. "I didn't leave the same way. The 7th door, it didn't open to the building. No, it opened to this." Jo looked around. "So we both ended up here, but not through the same door. Maybe the same decision," Alex said. "To stop hiding, to face it." She smiled faintly. "That sounds like something they'd put in the brochure." Alex laughed. A real, genuine sound that surprised him. "Right? Break your mind, face your fears, exit through a mysterious field." Jo chuckled, "with wildflowers included." Then silence again. Finally, Alex stood. "Do you think we're still in it?" Jo tilted her head. "What, the game?" He nodded. She thought for a moment. "If we are, does it matter?" That question lingered. They began to walk across the field toward a line of distant trees. No signs, no barriers, just space, freedom, or an illusion of it. But for the first time in a long time, Alex didn't care if it was real, because it felt like the first choice he'd made that wasn't about escaping something. It was about stepping into something else, and that was enough. The screen flickered once, then the forum loaded, a thread buried deep in the digital void. Private, invite only, title, "The 7th Door," confirmed, user, deleted. I went through it. The 7th door. It's not a trap. It's not salvation either. It's a mirror. You don't escape it by solving puzzles. You escape it by stopping the lies, the ones you tell everyone, the ones you tell yourself. If you find the door, it's already too late, because it found you first. I'm writing this so someone else knows it's real. I made it out, I think, but I still see it sometimes. Not the door, but what came after. Sometimes I wake up, and I wonder, am I still in the room? No replies, no upvotes, just a blinking cursor beneath the post, waiting for the next player.